want to take a moment to introduce our next guest, very special guest that flew in from Texas, who is the first strengths-based coach ever. His name's Brent, and he's built a worldwide enterprise around coaching, and he's building strengths-based communities everywhere he goes. And I'm really honored to introduce him. One of the words that I always think of when I think of Brent is breakthrough, and that's part of that transformation involves breakthrough. So it's my pleasure to introduce Brent, who is actually a recent grandfather, which is surprising to me as a new dad because he looks younger than me.
Thanks for coming, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's true. Very first grandbaby and grandson, his name is Sawyer. So, in fact, my name that I'm hoping he will call me, he's only 9 months old right now, is Papa O. And so a lot of people ask me, Brent, you were considered the first Gallup certified coach. And so one of my clients who is in this audience says, Brent, you're kind of like the mayor. You're the mayor of all the coaches. So I'm just going to give you permission. You can call me Papa O. Okay, Papa O. And this is different, being 54 and being at this stage of my life and career. So when I look back, there is a lot of experiences. And I want to remind you of one of the most watched TED Talks that has ever been around. Anyone ever watched Derek Severs' How to Start a Movement? Okay? If you have not seen that TED Talk, which is only like 6 minutes, that's what's so obvious, so awesome about it. So if you remember in this TED Talk, literally Derek Severs shows a video, and it's in California. I don't know if it's at UCLA or where it's at, but it's like people are it's like Woodstock almost, like listening to music, okay? And so here comes this one guy who gets out in the front of everyone and just starts doing these goofy dances. Looks like me dancing. My wife says, you have no rhythm, Brent. You embarrass the heck out of me. But I have command, so I really don't give a flip. I'm going to have fun no matter what, if anybody joins me or not. And so what Derek Severs shows in this quick video is how this lone nut who is out here dancing by himself, all of a sudden, one person comes and embraces him and starts dancing with him. And then 2 people come, and then 10 people come, and then 30 people come, and now there's 6,000 people, following this person. And the quote, which I have to put my readers on now to read, that Derek Severs says, if you really care about starting a movement, have the courage to follow and show others how to follow. And when you find a lone nut doing something great, have the guts to be the first one to stand up and join in. See, in my work as a Gallup certified strengths coach now and professional certified coach with ICF, I saw the vision just like you did, that when I discovered my strengths from a business coach introducing me to strengths through a mastermind, I not only drank the Kool-Aid, I started selling the Kool-Aid immediately. I started using it with my existing clients. This was back in like 2008. And from there, it went from, using it with my family. Actually, I started with them first. And we all started using it. Then it was my clients. And at that time, I was still a licensed professional counselor. I was a shrink. So you're talking about working with humanity. That's my whole background, is working with all of those diagnoses in the DSM-4. That's my experience. That's my background. But after I discovered strengths, it was, how can I just not help my clients survive? How can I help them thrive? How can I help them flourish? That's when I got into positive psychology. That's when I said, yes, StrengthsFinder as a tool, now Clifton Strengths, is the tool I want to dedicate myself to use. And over the years, immediately I started building a niche in strengths-based coaching. And at that time, I have like 65 plus domains. Does anybody else like that? You have a lot of different domains. Well, I had almost every StrengthsFinder domain there is, okay? I had StrengthsFinderCoaching.com. In the beginning days, that was really killer. I was getting so many opportunities, for people to buy. I was sending out books back then, okay? And so there were no codes back then. I was just finding a way. And so I think it's over 5,000 people now that I've administered the Clifton StrengthsFinder to. And during that time, that's when Gallup called me. They saw me on the internet and saw my online presence and said, who's this dude down here in Texas? Thinks he's bigger than the world. And so they called me. Paul Allen was on that first call. Dean Jones was on that first call. Phil Ruhlman was on that first call. I don't even know if you remember that. But I was sitting in my car on the phone. They were talking, hey, we're thinking about, starting this certification coaching program. And, our goal is we want to have 1 billion people take Clifton Strengths and 1 million people become certified coaches. And we want to see, would you like to be our first? Yeah. I have a lot of energy, if you haven't recognized. And so it was just courage, like, I don't know how I'm going to get the money. I had no idea where it was going to come from. They didn't give me a good deal. I tried to negotiate a good deal, just like all of you did. And I had to pay the $7,500, whatever it was back then. And so anyway, our first cohort of 8 people, we were the guinea pigs. You guys, you got it much better after us. The material, everything, the vision was much, much, much better. But that's enough context. So let me just get to the point here. One thing I want to really leave you with today. So in the way that I have devised my company, and I just wrote it in my latest book, Let's Talk Strengths, is applying your strengths to grow stronger, work smarter, and live richer. I want to hit for a moment, not about growing stronger, though everyone is in here, all of us, whatever your role, whether it's in nonprofits, whether it's schools, whether it's with youth, whatever area that you are in leadership, we have to keep maximizing our talents and turning them from raw to refined. And that's something all of us are going to continue to do. So I won't even go into depth on that. The second part, though, is about working smarter. And so this is how can, I like to say, mobilize our strengths. And I literally say, how can you launch your strengths, your talents into your work activities like a rocket going to the moon? It's with mission. It's with intentionality. And that's where my focus comes in. It's like you've got to have a target, But I want to share just a moment about what I mean by live richer. Every one of you in here, you have to make money to pay the bills, to keep your business going and growing. Paul was sore. I know it's sexier to sell mission and vision. I'm there. Believe me, that is ultimately why I do what I do. My mission statement for my company is championing strengths for entrepreneurial excellence. And so, but here's what I just want to encourage you with. It is okay to grow in your money mindset. It is not evil for you to make money and still be on mission. You can grow your enterprise, your company, whether it's a nonprofit or for-profit. In fact, that's part of our mission, is to multiply our talents. Talent is a word not only for thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, it's for money. Money is just a tool. It does not give us any more esteem or success or brilliance than anything else. It is just a tool. And living richer to me is not only about being more profitable and multiplying your money in your enterprise, but I also believe it's about living a well-enriched lifestyle. So that means freedom. I mean, you had freedom to come here today. Freedom to spend a little extra money to fly here, to drive here, to get here. You're putting your business on hold for a moment. You have to have some income and some reserve in order to do that. And if you want to continue to scale your business, I just want to challenge you that, when I look on this list of building a strengths-based world, the only thing, I'm sorry, Paul, is I kept thinking, where is the strengths-based entrepreneur here? Where is the strengths-based business? And business and mission does not have to be antagonistic. And so I'm going to, boy, when I hear that, it makes me think of the days on the farm. I just want to go get up on that saddle and ride that wild Mustang. Actually, it's a good comic relief. So I want to encourage you, in whatever sector you're in, is to have the courage to follow conscious capitalism. Great book, great movement, and the whole idea is that we can give and we can bless and we can love and we can nurture, we can uplift humanity in whatever domain of life that we're working, and at the same time we can continue to not be ashamed of growing a scalable, profitable business. Some of you are giving away things that is so valuable, and people do not see the value because you don't see the value in yourself, in your own talents, and what you as your genius can bring to the world. And that's how you're going to differentiate yourself. And if you just need a little help, you might want to check out Selling Strengths as well. So remember, I got to get my readers out again. Thank you. That was focus. I love people with focus, especially when I lose my focus. So I just want to read this quote one more time very quickly. If you really care about starting a movement, and by the way, Donald Clifton was the lone nut out there dancing. And then there were people who followed from there who, some of you got, how many of you got strengths performance training before the actual certification coaching? Yeah, raise your hand. You are the other leaders. And really, the other thing that Derek Severs really brings out is it's true, powerful leadership is about followership. The best leaders know how to follow, and they have the guts and the courage to follow. And this is another movement. This is an extension. All of us have a responsibility now to how do we grow the movement and apply strengths and talents to every domain of life. I used to work with a lot of young men who were in boot camps, and some of them were incarcerated there who were on suicide watch. And I was the guy that went out And I can tell you, I remember helping them discover what's right about you instead of what's wrong about you. And that's what resonates with all of us. So, in wrapping up, I'm going to have you do a quick 60-second exercise. So, everybody, would you stand up? Because you know sitting is the new smoking. That comes from Tom Rath, by the way. And so what I want you to do is I want you to just turn to 2 or 3 people, a little small group around you. And I want you to quickly share, 60 to 90 seconds, which of your one primary talents helps you have courage to follow. Courage to follow. 60 to 90 seconds. Just have a discussion.